Please welcome freshman number 3, Coven Johnson. Freshman number 7, Drew McKim. Junior number 10, Joey Anina. Junior number 9, Sam Farner. Junior number 13, Owen Martins. Junior number 23, Eli Naughton. Senior number 19, Oz Curtis. Senior number 20, Tyler Hart. Senior number 78, the goalkeeper, Bruce David. Senior number 4, Gunnar Pipitone. And senior captain number 6, Caleb Massey. And now for your Deer Lakes Lancers. Sophomore number 31, Mason Metzler. Sophomore number 12, Nate Litrin. Sophomore number 52, the goalkeeper, Nick Braun. Sophomore number 18, Michael Butler. Sophomore number 8, Ryan Haynes. Junior number 17, Jake McCutcheon. Senior number 24, Ronan Renter. Senior number 13, Ryan Rogers. Senior captain number 9, Michael Sullivan. Senior captain number 7, Colton Spence. And senior captain number 10, Devin Murray. The Lancers head coach is coached by Dan Yates, assistant coach is Jake Douglas. Shady Side Academy head coach is Ed Ellsworth. At this time, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
The Shady Side Academy Indians once again be the top tribe, as it were, in said classification. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Matt Popchuk when they're visiting white uniforms with white socks and matching white pants and dark blue numerals. Deer Lakes will move in the first half from left to right on your computer screen or mobile device in their all green uniforms with the yellowish gold trim and yellowish gold numerals. Shady Side quickly resetting to its own back line and punting it out in front of its own bench before it goes out of bounds far side in front of the main scoreboard here at Lancer Stadium. And Deer Lakes gets its first touch of the evening. And it'll go to Nate Latroon, the sophomore defender, number 29, who goes near side to his back line mate, Jake McCutcheon. McCutcheon playing the ball carefully off to his left to Colton Spence, one of the 3 members of the Lancers 2020 leadership group, as you just heard on public address. Deer Lakes lines this ball toward the midfield circle where it's intercepted by the Indians. Bit of a log jam at the 40-yard marker on the Shady Side half before the Indians played in the general direction of the Deer Lakes attacking third. Throw into the Indians near side, and on the throw-in, Drew McKim, the freshman midfielder, who is, per Ed Ellsworth, the head coach, looked very, very mature, getting valuable minutes as a freshman on the varsity squad this season. Nothing doing on the throw-in. Deer Lakes with it, towing its own back line and trying to get something started the other way here, just 90 seconds into a scoreless first half. This ball off of Deer Lake's noggin, and it'll be led up ahead past everybody. The closest Lancer to it was Mason Metzler, I believe, the sophomore. No correction, that's not 15, that's 8, Ryan Haynes, the sophomore midfielder, who's had a nice year as an underclassman. And Haynes has it now as he tries to center a ball for one of his teammates. Haynes along the near sideline resets to his midfielders. Littering for Spence, left side. Now Spence goes right side to Jake McCutcheon. McCutcheon's pass is thwarted by the Shady side midfield and sent back through neutral territory where Deer Lakes will try to reset the play. Great job by the Indians working the ball around as it was airborne, but Deer Lakes is ultimately able to settle it down along its own back line, playing up in front of its own 25-yard marker as it comes across the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for the home team. And a short, quick one at that, as Deer Lakes will again reset defensively. So the Trina comes again, off ahead, and up ahead to Haynes. Haynes couldn't handle it, however. It was settled down by Gunnar Pipitone, the senior defender. Pipitone, who started for Shady Side's last WPIL championship team and has a lot of playoff experience, getting ready to gear up his team for another run this year. Haynes right off a Shady Side foot. And it will come free to the Indians' number 10, Joey Anania. Anania resets to Sam Farner. It was Farner's brace that led the Indians to a narrow 2-1 decision over Deer Lakes at Shady Side Academy on September 24th. The only loss in sectional play for the Lancers thus far, and as we said at the top of the cast, it looms large coming into tonight. Shady Side penetrates the attacking third, but just too many green jerseys in the way. Now they have to reset, and it'll come near side to 7, Drew McKim. McKim, the novice, up ahead, and a little too strong for the pink-cleated Farner, the junior, and he's clamoring for an offensive throw-in, and actually he's going to get one. They say Farner was pushed down as he was trying to play that ball deep in Deer Lake's territory along the touchline. It'll be better than a throw-in. In fact, it'll be an indirect free kick. And doing the honors for Shady Side is 10, Anania. Two Deer Lakes bodies camped out. 10 yards from Anania. Anania from deep in the left corner puts it in play. And it is punched over the bar by Deer Lakes keeper Braun, the sophomore. And Braun has looked good and look consistent all year long. Only 4 goals allowed by the Lancers as a team this season. And bear in mind, we are not taking either team's forfeit wins over the Valley Vikings, into consideration when we disseminate those numbers. 3 clean sheets for Braun in 2020. Corner kick for the Indians. It goes off of Deer Lake's head and out of play. It'll be a throw-in, I should say, deep in Deer Lake's territory for Anania. And Anania is going to leave it actually for one of his teammates. That's Owen Martins, the junior. Martins off to a running start as he hurls it in the general direction of the Deer Lakes goal. It goes harmlessly by everybody, and Deer Lakes is eventually able to take control of the ball near side and drill it up ahead, but right to the Shady Side Academy defensive duo led by Pipitone, who helps the Indians work the ball back toward midfield. Throw in for the Lancers at the top of their own defensive third. Near side it comes, 29, Latrune. Will tee it up for his defensive partner, Spence, the co-captain, and he'll send a long ball. Will Spence all the way to number 78, Bruce David, the senior keeper of Shadyside Academy, who keeps things moving with 33:28 to go in a goalless first half here from Deer Lakes High School. The Indians chip this ball over a sliding tackle attempt by the Lancers, but it only goes as far as the 40-yard marker on the Deer Lakes half before the Lancers take over. A double team in front of the Shadyside Academy bench allows the Indians to win this ball back. Farner trying to get something going the other way. He can't. Deer Lakes forces a turnover, but a brief one at that. And these two teams just kind of looking for any inch they can find in the early proceedings here. This ball led a little too far, it looks like, in a noble effort, a sliding effort at that by Haynes to try and keep it alive, but it's going to be a goal kick to Shadyside. Haynes with it, centering ball. Now back for Haynes, deep on the right side. His cross was blocked. Great positional football there by the senior. But Deer Lakes does appear to win a corner kick. And so the Lancers will have really their first quality chance of any kind, it feels like, in the first few minutes of this key match. Teeing it up in the near corner will be 13 of the Lancers, Ryan Rogers, a senior forward. Rogers puts it in play. It goes off a Lancer head and out of play. In American football, it would be a field goal. For our purposes, however, that's a goal kick to the Indians, it appears. And they're actually going to say it went off one of the Indians. Interesting. So again, it will be Rogers, but this time from the opposite corner, teeing up the corner kick, the second in a row on this possession for the Lancers. Deer Lakes may be getting a bit of a break there, but in any event, low line drive corner kick goes off a Shadyside body, and the Lancers again get a fortuitous bounce as it went right off of Caleb Massey, the senior. Massey just kind of darned if he did and darned if he didn't there. He didn't really have a lot of time to react to that ball. Again, it's in play, but it's a little too tall for the closest Deer Lakes Lancer to the ball, and that was Ronan Renter, the senior midfielder, who was trying to get his head on it, but it was just a couple inches out of reach, and so the Indians will try and clear their own end with 30 minutes, 30 seconds to go in a still goalless first half. Foul on Shadyside. Throw in near side by Haynes, who resets back to his midfield, and a bit of a collision there as the ball goes out of bounds near touchline. Again, Haynes of Deer Lakes will throw it back in, and this time he'll go back to his own defenders. Nate Latroon with it. Left side for Spence. Spence draws a double team before getting rid of the ball, and it goes off a Deer Lakes boot before it is scooped up nearly on the run by Rogers. Good tackle there by Shadyside as this ball will roll harmlessly into the midst of Bruce David. David looks around and just rolls it off to his right. Deer Lakes trying to force a turnover deep in Shadyside territory, but it looks like the Indians are going to be able to eventually work this ball back up to midfield. Massey with a bit of a miscommunication there with one of his mates, but he still has possession before he is fouled next to the Shadyside bench, and possession will stay with the Indians. Free kick, SSA. And it'll be a long, indirect free kick as play restarts, intercepted by the Lancers. And here with some space is Ryan Rogers, but that space disappears rather quickly. And an awkward looking redirect there by Massey, it looked like, but no harm done as it goes to the right of goal from his vantage point, and easily picked up by David, who resets the play for Shadyside Academy. The physical intensity starting to pick up a little bit here as Deer Lakes is guilty of another foul, in the midfield vicinity. We're on 12 minutes here in the Cheswick-Russellton area, as it were. 0-0, Deer Lakes, Shady Side Academy, respectively, in a match that could decide the 2020 title of Class 2A Section 2. This through ball went past everybody, and Deer Lakes is able to punt it back to the Shady Side half of the field before it is settled down by the Indians 7, McKim, and turned over to the Lancers. Here picking up some pace is Michael Sullivan, the co-captain. Sullivan triple teamed, and that triple team is effective. Sullivan still fighting for this ball that comes free to one of the Lancers. But the through pass intended for Tim Murray was blocked at the last possible moment. Good stick to it there by Shady Side Academy, as that could have been a dangerous scoring chance for Deer Lakes. This is a very, very seasoned defensive core, one that Ed Ellsworth is particularly proud of. If I took anything away from my first impression of speaking with him earlier this week, it was that. Hard challenge at midfield. Call goes against Deer Lakes. And Shady Side Academy will have the honor of the restart with 26:50 to play in a goalless first half. And the Indians will put the ball in play from the top of the DL logo at the center of the varsity football field here at Deer Lakes High School, just outside the circle. And it's a long indirect free kick that goes by everyone and everything. And Ron is content to just look to his left and watch it go all the way out of bounds across the back line, and it'll be a goal kick to the Lancers. Both teams trying to get set up here and brace themselves for potential aerial duel. Ron, very deliberate, and lets one of his teammates take the goal kick. And it goes off the head of Haynes and up ahead of one of the Lancers. That is Rogers. Rogers trying to outrun his defender. That was Pipitone, but Pipitone had him long watch. Deer Lakes, however, does win a throw-in inside the attacking third of Shady Side on the near side of the pitch. And Deer Lakes being a bit deliberate with their scheming here, as Sullivan will hurl it in. And David comes all the way out and follows it and grabs it eventually. One of David's own men got in the way there, but ultimately no harm done, as the Indians will gradually bring it out of their own end, near side. Coven Johnson on the left side. Backward for Farner. Farner, right side. And up ahead now, needs to do one touch past the 23 of the Indians. That is Eli Naughton, who resets to Farner. Comes now to Tyler Hart, the senior defender, who retreats. Massey playing the ball, far side, along the touchline, before Deer Lakes is content to just drill it back into its own bench. And officials say it went off a Shady Side player last, so that was actually a defensive throw-in for the Lancers. Ball quickly sent back the other direction, however, as the Indians try to get a counterattack. But not standing on ceremony is 18. Michael Butler, the sophomore. And ultimately, Shady Side Academy gets a throw in on their own side of the playing surface.
Michael!
Near side will come now to the Lancers. And Sullivan has tried to chip it up ahead to Haynes, but it was not to be. Good anticipation by the defensive midfield of the visiting Indians. 7. McKim outlets to Anania. Anania dribbles. tries to dance around a man, but he can't. Deer Lakes standing its ground and playing it out near side for a throw-in for Shady Side Academy just inside the attacking third. Owen Martins surveys the play and throws it deep for Farner inside the football end zone. Farner with a turnaround shot pass that is headed away by the Deer Lakes back line, and the Indians have to reset along the near sideline at the midfield stripe. 22:50 to go, 0-0 in this first half at Deer Lakes High School. Shady Side with a steal. Here's an 80. Has some space right side. Punts it on the fly, but well beyond the target. Goal kick Lancers. Back to action now. Deer Lakes defensively from within its own box is able to work it just inside Shady Side's half of the field before the Indians come back quickly. Here's an 80 with space and lost control of the ball. Backing him up, however, is Naughton. Naughton deep in the left side, trying to perhaps cross it for one of his teammates. But a good break up there by the Deer Lakes defender. That's 17 concussion with his foul. And the sophomore had his work boots on that one. Thwarts the scoring chance, and he earns a defensive restart for the Lancers. Deer Lakes will put the ball back in play from just outside its own box on the near side. And it goes by three white shirts, I beg your pardon. And Michael Sullivan tried to move the ball forward. He could not. This one goes off a Shady Side head as well. That number 20 Hart. The Lancers trying to discombobulate the Indians a bit here, but Shady Side will drill it into the shrubbery. So the fall foliage here in Cheswick gets a touch as Deer Lakes gets a throw in. 20:50 to go. Goalless first half. Lancers throwing it in right in front of the Shady Side Academy bench, off slightly to our right. But they are unable to maintain control, and the Indians win the ball back.
Now taking a field for Shady Side, number 18, Will Carrette.
18, Will Carrette, the senior forward, as you probably just heard, entering the match for Shady Side. And the Indians are trying to clean things up defensively on the far side of the pitch. As looking for this ball was Anania, but there were two green jerseys who beat him to it. Shady Side wins it back, however, and with it coming up ahead is Coven Johnson. Johnson pulls it back to Naughton. Naughton gave it away to one of the Lancers. That's Ryan Rogers. Rogers in pursuit. Into the attacking third. Goes down. Officials say play on, and Shady Side Academy will do just that. From the far side, this ball intended for Naughton is broken up by a Deer Lakes midfielder. Lead pass for Farner. Farner catches up to it. Right side now it comes. Farner trying to stay onside, and he does. But fortunately for the Lancers' sake, Spence, the defensive captain, makes it a moot point as he clears it out of danger. Farner with it again inside the attacking third. Turnaround shot, maybe off his arm, but again we play on. Spence in perfect position to block that long-range attempt by the junior. And the Indians try to center the ball, and in doing so, earn themselves a corner kick on the far side of the field. We're on 22 minutes now of first half football. Deer Lakes and Shady Side Academy scoreless, and it's a short corner kick. The Indians try to put the ball deep into the box, but they cannot. Just not a lot of room out there for either side thus far in this first half. And in these high-stakes matches, that's usually the way it goes. Just have to be patient and wait for your opportunities. Last affair between these two, a low-scoring one, as I told you a while ago, with Shady side prevailing by a 2-1 scoreline. Misplaying that ball for Deer Lakes off his own head is Metzler, and this will be another corner kick on the far side for the Shady Side Academy Indians. Just an absolute sea of humanity in front of the penalty spot as the ball is in play. It's loose, and it is chipped out of there near side. Looked like Litroon maybe have cleared it for Deer Lakes as one of the Indians goes down hard. That is Anania drawing that defensive foul on the other side. Anania earns the indirect free kick from just in front of the touchline here, deeper in Deer Lakes territory, near side of the field. There's the whistle, and there's the kick. It's off ahead, and it's blocked by the Lancers. All hung tough there as one of the Indians is knocked down in the box, but play continues. Shady Side Academy wins this ball in the offensive midfield, and Farner has it. The Indians settle things down here as here's Massey from the 30-yard marker into a sea of green as it's picked up by Haynes, and Haynes will go left side, and he'll look up ahead as David is way off goal to play that ball back toward midfield. Throw into the Indians, right in front of the main scoreboard, far side. Intercepted by the Lancers and knocked away by Renter. And it'll be another throw in for Shady Side Academy. As we are on 25 minutes and a goalless first half. High arching throw in, played away by the Lancers back line, and ultimately sent toward goal from decent distance, but snared by a jumping Nick Braun. And Braun waiting at the top of his box to restart the play, and he will by rolling it short to his left for Colton Spence. Shady Side Academy able to force a turnover. Farner with a soft touch up ahead. Now it comes back to Farner. Farner's got a step. Farner, can he catch up to this one? No, he can't. He's taken down cleanly. Farner's turnaround attempt is blocked also. And an errant chip is going to go out of bounds far side. And that was Anania trying to salvage that sequence for Shady Side Academy. Quick throw in defensively for Deer Lakes, trying to keep up this pace here, but maybe tilt the field if it possibly can. Massey with it. Right side. Nice sliding tackle there defensively by the Lancers 24, Renter. But Shady Side maintains possession along the far touchline. Still Indians ball as it goes off the official deep in Deer Lakes territory, and the Lancers are going to get it back. This ball drilled as far as the 40-yard marker on the Deer Lakes half. Shady Side Academy right back on this ball. One touch by Anania off his head. Now Anania settles it down to his feet and plays it back for McKim. McKim creates his own space. McKim, can he get around the third defender and cross this ball? No, he cannot. But he does appear to win a corner as McCutcheon and McKim both ran out of real estate. Owen Martin is the junior. has it teed up in the near corner, right in front of the red flag. It's in play. It's cleared away by Deer Lakes. Settled down by Johnson, but taken away by the Lancers. Can Deer Lakes get something going in transition? Here with speed is Spence. Spence leading the ball for Sullivan. And a good hard tackle there. But getting called for the foul is an irate Gunnar Pipitone who claims that he got all ball as Sullivan is shaken up on the play. Some nice tic-tac-toe passing by the Lancers, and it almost worked out. Sullivan nearly had a crack at goal if he had been able to get around David, but David was playing the aggressor, and I think got a piece of that ball, is what Pipitone was arguing there as it went out of play. But Deer Lakes does win a free kick in a somewhat dangerous spot, right at the 10-yard marker, just outside the 18-yard box. The 10-yard marker on the football field, I should say. Here's a hard shot right off the Shady side wall, and the rebound goes off the wall as well, and through the back line for a Deer Lakes corner kick. Approaching the 29-minute mark of the first half. No goals thus far, but the excitement's starting to pick up a bit here. From the far corner flag, here come the Lancers. Centering play for Sullivan. Sullivan finds his man. That's Rencher. Rencher can't take a clean shot. David makes his save, his first save unofficially of the night, on a distant strike by number 29, the sophomore defender, Nate Latroon. And meanwhile, one of the Lancers taken down hard in front of the Shady side bench, and this will be a throw-in for Deer Lakes. Far side at the top of the attacking third.
Taking the pitch for the Lancers, number 14, Ruder Beer.
Beer, the sophomore, coming in for the Lancers. Deer Lakes from its defensive midfield sends this ball to the near side for Haynes. Haynes is double teamed and has to pull it back to his back line. And Shady Side Academy is able to force a turnover out of that. McKim overcomes a jersey tug that seems to be ignored, and ultimately Martins wins the throwing for the Indians. McKim surveying the play. Had one thought, now entertains another, and it goes off ahead and intended for 18 of the Indians. Carrot. Will Coretta, I beg your pardon, but we get a foul away from the ball, it appears, and Deer Lakes will regain possession with under 10 minutes to play in a scoreless first half. Did not see what the infraction was. I do apologize, but in any event, the Lancers try to play it out from their own back line. You can tell Shady Side Academy really picking up the intensity, especially on the offensive half of the field. Trying to frustrate the Lancers into making a critical mistake and take away whatever space they can for a long free ball intended for Haynes, but much too far. This will be an easy scoop for Bruce David. David quickly restarts play in the other direction. And with it up ahead is Naughton. Naughton leading it left side for 18 Correct. Correct off the Deer Lakes defender. That was Latroon, if I'm not mistaken. And a quick throw in for the Indians as this ball is sent dangerously in front of the goal. Settled down by Farner. Farner can't tee it up. Now we'll go right side, and it'll be off of Deer Lakes' shoulder and out of play. That was Caleb Massey from the top of the 18 trying to take a crack on goal.
Number 11, Hazim Hamda.
Kick for the Indians. Ball in play, it curls away from the net. Deer Lakes is able to head it out and ultimately send the play the other way. A long lead pass intended, I believe, for Sullivan. Yes, that is Sullivan. Settling it down on his right foot. But he is dispossessed quickly by 7. Again, who slides to keep this ball on the Deer Lakes half the field, but not for long. Michael Butler up ahead, right into a host of white jerseys poised at their own 20-yard marker. And a whistle here signals a throw-in for Shady Side Academy near midfield, far side. And we seem to have a substitution being made. As the clock has stopped on 7 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in this goalless first half, as McKim is out for Shady Side. And 21, Charlie Stafford, the sophomore defender,
taking the pitch for Shady Side, number 21, Charlie Stafford.
It comes up ahead to Hazim Hamda, the senior forward, who was also just recently entered the match for the Indians, but Hamda is too well covered to make a play on the ball deep in Deer Lakes territory. The Indians settle it down, far side. It's driven in the general direction of Nick Braun, but not particularly far, as this goes off of Deer Lakes' head and back toward the 30-yard gridiron football marker. Nice little chip shot there by Sullivan to try and tow the ball around one of the offensive midfielders for the Indians, but all for naught. Fortunately for his sake, Deer Lakes able to win a throw-in in front of their own bench on their own half of the field. And one of the Lancers immediately fouled as the ball is put back in play, and this will stay with DL. Long free kick. Goes off a Deer Lakes, no, a Shady Side Academy head, as that was 13. Martin's trying to catch up to it and keep it in play, perhaps to reset to his keeper, and it ends up being a corner kick near side for Deer Lakes, which quickly sends the ball up top for Colton Spence. Spence off one of the defensive midfielders of the Indians, and this should be DL ball once again. And it will be with under 6 minutes to play now in a goalless first half. McCutcheon will let Ryan Haynes throw it in near side from the SSA attacking third. And going down and drawing the whistle is Michael Butler, the sophomore. Possession staying with the Lancers. Another indirect free kick to come. This one from roughly 30 yards out or so. Maybe a little over 30. First grade math on the fly, not always my strong point, but I will effort my best. The Indians able to clean up shop defensively. Not much of a chance there for the Lancers, but they do briefly maintain possession before Caleb Massey intercepts the ball and sends it up ahead, near side for Anania. Anania with a long football intended for 18 correct. The first one to get there was the yellow-clad keeper of the Lancers, Nick Braun. Indians on the counterattack now. Along the far touchline. Playing it in the middle to Hamda. And up top to Farner. Farner, near side for Martins. Turnaround strike is blocked. Never quite made it to goal. And Deer Lakes has a step here. Shady Side needs to be careful. And going down particularly hard and appearing to be shaken up on the play is 13 Ryan Rogers. And play is ceased. The Lancers able to draw a defensive foul on the Indians as they were in scramble mode trying to take away the open space from the Deer Lakes attack. What little space either side has had, really, in this first half. Both teams have had their fair share of set-piece opportunities, that's for sure, but only one save unofficially to this point, and that belongs to Bruce David, off to our right. Ball in play, and David will grab this one out of midair and hurl it with one hand, overhand, for Joey Anania. Anania splits two defenders. Pulls it toward the middle. Stutter step. Anania from the top. Good disposition there. Great tackle by 7 Colton Spence. Well, that's why he's a co-captain, folks. But the lead pass goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in at near side for the Indians. 37 minutes in, and we are still
back on the field for Shady Academy, number 19, Oz Curtis, and number 7, Drew
in the
McKenna.
northern suburbs of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Deer Lakes inside the Shady Side Academy half, unable to get much penetration there, so we'll come all the way back to Spence. Spence up ahead and on the left is able to find a man, that's Metzler. Metzler with a little bit of space along the far touchline, but he has it tackled away by one of the Indians, and it's sent out of bounds in front of the Deer Lakes bench. It'll be a throw-in for the Lancers near midfield. Head fake, and now the throw in. Deer Lakes operating from the far side. Trying to win some one-on-one battles here, and they do as it comes to Sullivan. Sullivan now 1-on-3, make it 1-on-4. Sullivan trying to do a little nutmegging there, but Sam Farner playing some good two-way football, picking up his own end. This attempt from distance by Devin Murray is blocked by one of the Indians. Shady Side content to just get it back toward the center circle, and they do. As Deer Lakes earns another throw in. And the Lancers will reset in the final minute and a half of the first half. They'll come back to Spence. For Murray. Teams play pitch and catch between the 30s before Deer Lakes settles the ball down. And with under a minute to play in the opening stanza, here come the Lancers. Sullivan gets around a man. Sullivan toward goal. It's the time. Makes it 1-0 to the Lancers.
Lancer goal scored by number 9, Michael Sullivan.
The senior midfielder tying
On the assist, number 8, Ron Haynes.
Yes, sir, for the team leading goals. That's now 11 for Sullivan on the year. And late tallies can be a killer. Act here in the final 44 seconds of first half play. That was a ball that the Indians defensively just kind of misjudged, and Sullivan stuck right with it. Came through the right wing, had some room, and just blasted it by a diving David. And the Deer Lakes Lancers at home draw first blood in this pivotal match. And barring late fireworks, as David settles things down and urges his mates to settle down, that could be the last blow struck by either side in this first half, as we now are under 10 seconds to play. And David just kind of let the clock run out as he picks up the ball, and the side. There wasn't much to write home about in that first half for either side until all of a sudden there was a late goal by senior midfielder Michael Sullivan in the 39th minute for the Deer Lakes Lancers that we will blast out in kind over the Pittsburgh Soccer Now account. And it's a fierce battle out there. Ed knows it's a grudge match. We know it's a grudge match. And it's still anybody's grudge match. But Michael Sullivan's late first half strike has the home team on top. And Deer Lakes needs it to stay that way if they want to have any hope of repeating as Section 2 champions. As we are back underway in second half action, Shadyside Academy pressing and trying to force a turnover as the Indians attack from left to right on your computer screen or mobile device to begin the second half here in Cheswick. But with it near side for the Lancers is 15 Metzler. Metzler into traffic, taken away by Massey of Shadyside Academy before it eventually comes free to Hart. Deer Lakes in transition. Long lead pass intended for Haynes. It's going to be too far. Can Haynes keep it in play? Yes, he can. Haynes marked quickly by McKim, the freshman. And this leads to a throw-in for Deer Lakes inside Shadyside territory, far side. The Indians, again, a lock for the playoffs. Last year was the first time since 2014 that a WPIL boys championship match did not involve the Indians, as it was Quaker Valley getting the best of these Deer Lakes Lancers at Highmark Stadium a year ago. And this ball blocked out of bounds as the Shadyside Academy keeper, a new keeper for the Indians, Zach Conti, the senior, took a little bit too much time playing that ball away, but it leads to nothing for the Lancers, and Shadyside Academy from inside its own defensive half will work the ball back up to the middle of the field near side. A chip pass by Hart intended for Martins, it looked like, but that went a little too far, and the Lancers have a beat on this ball defensively. Whiffing on it is Latroon. Shadyside Academy perhaps with an opportunity if they can catch up to this ball, but they can't. Deer Lakes will drive it away, and in the general direction of Conti. Shadyside Academy rotating its two keepers tonight at Ellsworth's side with 4 clean sheets on the season and only 5 goals allowed all year on the truncated campaign. Both these teams putting up some extremely impressive defensive numbers coming in. No surprise that the first meeting between these sides was a low-scoring one. No surprise that this one, to this point, has been a low-scoring one as well. Indians with it, far side. With a turnaround try from distances, Martins. Correction.
Just a reminder, face coverings must be worn and physical distance must be strictly followed. According to distance between the spectators is marked on the bleachers. We thank you for your cooperation.
And it'll be a goal kick for Nick Braun as this socially distanced crowd, but high-spirited one nonetheless, watches the Lancers try to protect a 1-0 lead with 36:20 to go in the second half. Throw in for Shadyside, just shy of midfield. And this one will be settled down at the stripe by Caleb Massey, who sends it across the pitch to Tyler Hart. Hart for Farner. Farner sees some room. Drifts to his right. Farner well into the attacking third now, trying to center it, but it's blocked away by Metzler and driven back toward midfield by Deer Lakes.
Come on, Michael.
Sullivan with a nice one-time pass to himself. Here he comes down the left side. Sullivan's late first half marker, the difference to this point. He could not maintain possession, and the goal kick from Conti is ultimately controlled by his fellow Indians. Long lead ball finds its way, or does it, to Correct as it comes dangerously toward goal, but a comfortable number of green jerseys there to make sure that nothing untoward happened to Braun, as Braun, from beyond the penalty spot, will punt it right to left. Off the head of Sullivan, up ahead, too far for Haynes. Shady Side Academy will not let this go out of play. It's going to be blocked and taken away. The Lancers have a chance to defeat that position. Turnaround try is blocked. Cleared off the back line, by Pipitone. Oh, remember that play if Shady Side can concoct a way back into this one. Conti well off his line and well out of position. And some alert play by the Shady Side defense. Savvy group that they are, bails out their second keeper. Through ball. Offside. Lancer partisans directly in front of us and below us. A bit late to learning that news as the official's right arm had clearly come up before that ball was redirected into the back of the net behind Conti. Ball pinballs around now back to the football logo at the 50-yard marker on the football field, and a foul against Shady Side Academy will result in a free kick just in front of that 50-yard marker and just inside the Shady Side half for the Lancers. Shaken up, appears to be no worse for the wear. And it'll be 7 Colton Spence on the free kick from long distance. A green and white wall forms at the 15-yard marker on the football side of things in Shady Side territory as this ball, the loose ball, was deflected. Or was it? No, it was sent out of play cleanly by the Lancer forward. And it'll be a goal kick for Shady Side Academy. Massey is worked over and turns the ball over. Shady Side Academy wins it back with a double team, but they are guilty of a defensive foul. Beaver Lakes starting to get a bit of a territorial advantage here. Trying to add to a 1-0 advantage. Indirect free kick to the Lancers from about 30 yards out, near side. Spence overruns it. Instead, it'll be driven wide of the goal, and not wide by a lot, by Michael Sullivan, the lone goal getter. Sullivan was thinking about getting a brace the hard way, and that would have been the hard way, as he took a crackling goal from distance that curled just wide to the right of Conti. Side it comes. Shady Side just trying to clean up their own end and having trouble doing that. The Lancers tilting the field these last couple possessions as Farner settles it down and goes near side for Hart. Hart's misplay of the ball goes right to the feet of 14 Ruger Deer, and the sophomore wins a throw-in for Deer Lakes right in front of the press box. Metzler putting it back in play from about 50 yards out, near side. A triple team helps the Indians win that ball, but they're unable to do anything with it as the Lancers will reset defensively. And doing so near side is Colton Spence. His breakout pass was intended for number 14, Beer, but broken up by the Indians. Through ball for Anani is loose and cleared out of there by Latroon from 12 yards away. And this will be a couple of substitutions coming on for Shady Side Academy, as the Indians have a throw-in inside the Deer Lakes half.
Taking the field for Shady Side, number 11, Hazim Hamda.
Hazim Hamda back in for SSA.
Number 18, Will Correct.
And Correct as well, as this ball is rainbowed just over the bar and wide to the right, as we face him of Nick Braun, the Deer Lakes keeper.
Also on the pitch for Shady Side, number 13, Owens Martins.
Owen Martins returning to action. The junior defender coming back in for the Indians.
Taking the field for the Lancers, number 24, Ronan Renter.
Ronan Renter, meanwhile, re-entering for Deer Lakes, as you may or may not have just heard. And this goal kick for the Lancers is taken by one of their defenders before it is flagged down by Renter. Renter up ahead for Rogers, flying down the left wing, pulls it back from the corner of the box. Cross intended for a sliding Haynes, who was slicing all alone through the right side, but that ball was just beyond his right foot. Goal kick, Shady Side Academy. 28-15 remaining in the second half, with Deer Lakes up 1-0 on the Indians. The reigning Section 2 champs of Class 2A boys soccer trying to keep their hopes of a repeat in that respect alive this evening. Sullivan takes this ball over, stutter steps, waits for the defenders to make a move, now turns on the jets a bit. Settles the ball down. Sullivan very calm as he plays it through for Rogers. And Rogers is dispossessed cleanly. Or excuse me, that's Ronan Renter, who was dispossessed cleanly by a pair of Shady Side defenders before he could take a shot on target. Defensive throw-in for the Lancers just inside their own half. Metzler trying to help out his man, and he can only do so much, however, as Metzler will curl it back in on a second consecutive throw-in for Deer Lakes. Flagging it down near side for Shady Side is Pipitone. Pipitone back to his keeper, Conti, who gave it away. Look out! A hard rip toward the goal. Sullivan is all about the brace, no trouble.
Thank you, goal scored by number 9, Michael Sullivan.
And that could be quite
assisted by number 13, Ryan Rogers.
Came right to Sullivan, and he wasted no time blasting it from right in the middle of the offensive zone from about 25 yards out. Sullivan's team leading 12th of the year, second tonight, and doubtless he wasn't going to miss from there. Michael Sullivan on the 53rd minute doubles the lead for DL. And the assist credited to Ryan Rogers, the senior forward, his second of the campaign.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Meanwhile, we have an indirect free kick for the Indians, who need to do something to spoil the clean sheet and then some. long shot. It's through the football goal post and out of play. That was Anania, I believe, taking that one from the far side of the pitch. Colton Spence will do the honors on the goal kick as the senior co-captain directs traffic. He'll wait for his teammates to get set, and now he will drive this ball beyond the midfield straight where it bounces and is won by the Lancers. And here comes Deer Lakes on the attack again. Nice little one-touch pass from Sullivan this time. That now comes back to Sullivan, who rips it just wide and off the side of the net. It looks like it's going to be a goal kick to the Indians, but not for nothing. Sullivan with that ponytail tied, feeling it tonight. Shady Side Academy sends this outlet pass a little too far, intended for Anania. It'll be a throw-in defensively for Deer Lakes with 24:35 to go in the second half, and the Lancers up 2-0 on the Indians. Michael Sullivan starting the party with just 44 seconds to play in the first half. And Sullivan with a resounding strike again in the 53rd. And Deer Lakes with possession once more before it's taken away by Eli Naughton of Shady Side. Naughton unable to win this one-on-one battle, but he does win a throw-in for the Indians in front of their own bench. McKim quickly puts it in play. It goes out of bounds off a Lancer. Shady Side's ball again. Farner with it. Farner marked by Sullivan. A little number 9 of number 9 in action there. And ultimately Deer Lakes able to clear its area. Caleb Massey from the midfield. Near side it comes to Johnson. Johnson for Farner. Farner back for Massey. At the logo, Massey left side. And able to keep it in play as McKim. It's quickly intercepted by the Lancers. They're unable to clear though, as Shady Side Academy was able to draw a foul, and the Indians will get another indirect free kick. Their second since Sullivan's second tally. And this will be from a good 40 yards out, from right in front of the Shady Side bench. It'll be taken by Gunnar Pipitone. Big crowd, 12 yards in front of the Deer Lakes goal as this ball is driven in that general direction, and it goes by everybody. Goal kick Lancers. Colton Spence will drive it toward midfield. Aerial goal. One for the moment by Sullivan. Massey trying to have other ideas as we get a whistle and an infraction against the Indians. Clock winds under 22 minutes to play in the second half, with Deer Lakes enjoying a 2-goal bulge. And it's Spence on the free kick. Got some good distance on that one. Got it inside the box actually, but it's taken over by the Indians. Sliding attempt there by number 9 Sullivan, who has both goals to keep it alive, but Shady Side Academy ultimately is going to get possession here with a throw-in from the far side of the field. And it's quickly put back in play, I should say, to Farner. And Deer Lakes forces a turnover inside the attacking third. Throw-in for the Lancers now, far side. Here it comes up top. fortuitous bounce to Mason Metzler. Metzler trying to work over his man. Owen Johnson, the freshman mini, sticking right with him though, and he wins a defensive throw. Now let's see if Conti is extra careful here, as he's already seen one callous pass lead to a potentially devastating goal. This time the Indians rather able to get the ball out of their defensive third a little bit more cleanly, but Deer Lakes is right back on the counterattack. And they are going to throw in from just outside the box. Sullivan with it. Takes a rip. Save made. Who'll get to the rebound first? The Indians will, but they won't be able to get it out. Metzler. Gonna pass through a couple of Shady side legs, but Massey thwarts the threat. It will, however, be a throw-in deep in Shady side territory for Deer Lakes. And the Lancers offensively, just over time, starting to flex their muscles more and more here. Long driving ball. Let's see if Shady side can win a foot race here, as this is Anania trying to get there, and Anania bumps down Ron hard. Not intentional, certainly, but Anania maybe in desperation mode with his team down 2 goals, trying to make something happen. And Ron is certainly going to take his time getting up after that one. Nick Braun, we've given you his numbers before, a very capable netminder, but not the largest of gentlemen, let's just say, and gets a nice round of applause as he gets back up on his own volition. It'll be a defensive free kick for Deer Lakes from the far side of the field, deep in their own territory, as the officials will restart play with 18:54 remaining in regulation. And this ball will stay with Deer Lakes as it is deflected off a Shady side head out of bounds in front of the football scoreboard. The Lancers working around the top of the attacking third. Now they penetrate. Here's Sullivan, spaced down the right side, looking to cross it. Goes right to the Indians' back line, however, but it is intercepted by Mason Metzler. Metzler couldn't hang on to that ball, but he able to throw it deep inside Shady side territory. Off a Shady side noggin it goes to Farner. Farner, from well outside his own box, plays it near side to Stafford. Stafford had it knocked away by a Deer Lakes midfielder who will methodically reset the ball to Nick Braun, who will line drive it back to midfield. Caleb Massey couldn't settle it down. Deer Lakes will. Here's Sullivan from just shy of the midfield stripe. Looking to go right side, but it's cut out neatly by Martins. Now a lead ball for Stafford. Can he get there first? No, he can't. And he does a little excuse me there as he contacts Braun. But Braun able to grab that ball easily before the Indians could generate an opportunity on net. And Braun will roll it immediately to his left, and it'll be driven back into the Shady side half in haste. The Indians back on the ball at midfield. Near side it comes to Johnson. Back to Farner. Now out of bounds, intended for Stafford, I think. And it'll be a throw-in defensively for Deer Lakes. Metzler puts it back in play. And the Indians try to put their hustle boots on and force a turnover there. They cannot. Instead, it's a throw-in to Michael Sullivan and the Lancers from midfield, right in front of us here. Now a defensive throw-in for the Indians near side from roughly the 20-yard gridiron football marker. Who will it be? get a foul away from the play, officials say. It'll be a throw in for Deer Lakes. And Sullivan is going to do the honors. He thought about going backwards near side to Metzler. Instead, he'll just throw it in this traffic jam right in front of Conti, where it'll be cleared out for the time being. Good play there by McKim of Shady side, as the ball was tackled out of bounds and last touched by one of the Indians, Deer Lakes, with a quick throw in to restart play. But Shady side intercepts. Here's Farner with some space right down the middle. Left side it goes to Anania. Anania spins his tires. Anania pulls back, centers it for Farner. Anania was fouled. And this will be an indirect free kick to Joey Anania. From about 22-ish yards out, right along the far touchline. Here comes the in-swinging ball. Off the bar, it's loose and cleared away by the Lancers, who, in all rumination, got a bounce there. Nick Braun is fired up. I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or not, but that ball definitely went off the woodwork. The Indians that close to getting right back into the match. Now Deer Lakes defensively trying to settle things down here as they're content to just milk clock with under 14:20 to go in regulation. Michael Sullivan's 2 goals have the Deer Lakes Lancers that much closer to a spot of revenge against their Class 2, Section 2 brethren. Farner centers it, cleared away, but not out. The Indians settle it down at the top of the box. And it eventually comes to Coven Johnson. Johnson's turnaround attempt off his right foot will not be near goal, and Deer Lakes will try to clear it. A towering ball is settled down by Caleb Massey of Shady side and sent ahead for Farner, on the left side. Deer Lakes working quickly to intercept that ball, and Sullivan drawing a single, if not double team, wins a throw-in just shy of midfield, far side. Sullivan with a bit of a head fake there, and he's going to let one of his teammates actually take this throw-in. I think that's going to be Spence. Difficult to tell from our vantage, but in any event, Deer Lakes has it inside the center circle. Now the Lancers will reset here, as nearly forcing a turnover was Eli Naughton of Shady Side Academy, as the ball comes up ahead for Haynes. Haynes marched closely by McKim. McKim now working over Sullivan. McKim just puts it out of bounds. Deer Lakes gets a throw-in inside the attacking third. And they will get another as this comes to an open Michael Butler. The Lancers trying to get something started in front of their own bench. They're looking for Metzler at the top of the attacking third, but Shady Side Academy gets going in transition. Here's a nice lead ball for Anania. Anania right on it. Anania left wing. Centered for Farner. Farner is there. Farner shoots. Farner is stopped. It's still in play. There isn't. No, it's going to be a corner kick for Shady Side Academy, and they try to get a quick restart, but officials have other ideas. They want Shady Side to
taking the field for Shady Side Academy, number 4, Gunnar Pipitone.
Pipitone will attempt the corner kick from the far flag, with Deer Lakes leading 2-0 and 11:35 showing on the game clock. Pipitone puts it in play. There are just too many green jerseys to crack the code of Nick Braun. And now here's a ball that is one touched off the head of Conti, who is way off his back in goal as Sullivan has it. Right down the middle, and Sullivan is tackled hard and draws the foul. Michael Sullivan, who has been a superstar in this match for the Deer Lakes Lancers, wins his team a free kick in a dangerous spot with 10:50 to go. And the reigning Section 2 champs looking for a little icing on their cake at this point. Sullivan taking some time to talk things over with his teammates, and it looks like he's going to take this one. Can he finish what he started? Will he try to finish what he started? Let's see what the Lancers do here. No, it's not going to be Sullivan. Yes, it will be. He rips it, but it's an atta-ball, or the soccer equivalent thereof, right into the stomach of Conti. Bit of chicanery attempted by the Lancers there, but good anticipation there by the senior Conti. Under 10 minutes to play in the second half now. 2-0 to Deer Lakes over Shadyside Academy, with both goals coming courtesy of senior midfielder Michael Sullivan. Again, it was a brace by a Shadyside player, Sam Farner, that made the difference in the last match, so funny how that works, isn't it? Pipitone trying to settle it down and generate a scoring chance just shy of the box, but he can't. Deer Lakes is able to play it back to midfield as this ball is drilled out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in defensively for the Lancers as Metzler does just that. This pass intended for Sullivan, as I untie my tongue, was taken instead by Drew Kim of the Indians. And the Lancers are content to let this errant ball go by across the back line. This will be a goal kick for Deer Lakes. Spence from his goalie's crease to midfield. The teams punt it back and forth a couple times before it ricochets out of bounds in front of the scoreboard, and it'll be a throw-in with a fit for Shadyside Academy. Yes, it will. The throw-in will be delayed, however, so the Indians can get it
on the field for Shadyside. Number 11, Hazim Hamda. Number 19, Oz Curtis.
Honda and Oz Curtis, the senior midfielder.
Taking a pitch for the Lancers, number 14, Ruger Beer.
Ruger Beer back in for Deer Lakes as this strike attempted by Naughton from 23 yards out goes over the football goalpost, and out of bounds. Deer Lakes under Danny Yates coming out this evening in a 4-5-1. With Ryan Rogers at the top of that formation, and it was Rogers who set up a critical goal by midfielder Michael Sullivan, the second of Sullivan's 2 tallies on the evening, on 53 minutes. And that midfield, Deer Lakes, just as a team, making the biggest mess it possibly can, offensively and defensively, for the visiting Indians. Turned over to the Indians in midfield. They've still got some time now, as in pursuit of this ball was 11, Honda, who had just come back in, and Deer Lakes has to clean this out and concede a corner kick, yes, from the near corner. Wanted to make sure it went all the way over the back line, and officials say it did, and Pipitone will quickly tee it up with 6:40 to play. Shadyside Academy needs at least a pair. Bounding ball comes all the way back to the 25-yard football stripe. It's batted around and driven just wide of goal. Farner with a nifty little shot pass there, intended, I think, for Hamda, who was trying to chip it in past Braun, who was well out of position on the play, but the ball goes just wide, and That's kind of the way it's gone. The Indians, not without chances, but just not getting that last bounce that they've needed. 50-50 battle. Beyond midfield is won by Shady Side Academy. Coven Johnson tries to swing the ball toward Farner, but it'll be intercepted by Deer Lakes, and the Lancers might have an opportunity here. Through ball well cut out by Coven Johnson, but it did not matter because the Lancers were offside. Under 5.5 to play in the second half. Deer Lakes 2, Shady Side 0. The Indians watch this sail over the touchline in front of the Deer Lakes bench, and they will get a throw-in from their defensive half. It's a long throw-in intended for Handa. Deer Lakes comes the other way. Drilled up ahead by Massey, and right back to Nick Braun as trying to catch up to that ball for the Indians. Let's see if we can positively identify who that was. Getting a bit more daunting as the sun has disappeared and the 1100 waters are going full blast here at Lancer Stadium. This indirect free kick defensively by the Lancers comes to the Shady Side Academy Indians. And the Lancers are going to play it out of bounds deep in their own end. Latroon did that. And Gunnar Pivotone will throw it back in for Shady Side Academy, just off to our right.
Now on the field for Shady Side, number 26, Jack Westerberg.
26, Jack Westerberg, the junior defender, coming into the match for Shady Side Academy. And it looks like it'll be Owen Martins, the junior defender, taking this throw-in, which goes by everyone and still loose. Settled down by an Adia who's trying to chip it up to one of his teammates. Shady Side Academy clamoring for a handball, but nothing doing. As Conti retreats to his own 25-yard line on the football side of things to send this ball back up into Deer Lakes territory. One of the Indians, Pipitone, knocked down. This will be a foul against Deer Lakes. Spence the guilty party there. Indirect free kick from about 22 yards out. It's swung in and off of Deer Lakes' head, and it'll go across the far touchline for a Shady Side throw. Under 3 minutes in regulation to play. The Indians running out of time here as they continue to operate in the offensive end. For a sea of humanity, Shady Side has it. It's Pivotone. Had it poked away at the last moment. That was an alert play there by Spence, I believe. No, that was Sullivan. Now Sullivan puts it hard off of Shady Side bodies. He was just trying to clear his zone. That was not good. Took that ball off the right arm, it looked like. That had to sting at least a little. In any event, Deer Lakes winning the long battle with the top half, but turns the ball over. Throwing to the Lancers now. With under 2 minutes to play. Westerberg, unhappy with himself as he was a victim of a miscommunication with his mates there. He was in position to play that ball, but did not before it went out of bounds. Now Sullivan trying to put on some final fireworks here. We have a whistle and offside against the Lancers. I'm not sure if they're saying Sullivan was just kind of offside on himself or if there was some kind of a grievance, because it looked like Sullivan was playing that ball from our vantage point still in bounds, but no matter, it's a goal kick for Shady Side Academy as we approach the final minute of play here in Cheswick.
1 minute left in the match. 1 minute.
And barring miraculous developments, the Deer Lakes Lancers will keep their section alive. They will go to the 8-1 crossover. Shadyside Academy will first time section play overall, and their overall record will go to 9-2. Their section record will go to 9-1. Next up for Deer Lakes, they will be at Ligonier Valley tomorrow evening for a 5 p.m. first kick. Shadyside Academy will host the Kiski School on the 17th at 11:30 a.m. first kick. Before closing out the regular slate at Leechburg in sectional match, their last sectional match. And that is going to be all she wrote for Lancer Shady. Almost all she wrote anyway, as we have one final substitution. And Michael Sullivan's brace the Shadyside Academy Indians. And what we will do here is we will